Hello. I believe we are going live. I was just doing my obligatory smile for YouTube. Sorry, for YouTube and Facebook, basically, because otherwise they give you this kind of hideous look. It is so hot here. It's like 66 degrees, but feels like 166 degrees. But we will get through this because we gotta shave. No, I shaved earlier. We gotta save the United States and stop um, the Democrats in their tracks. Oh, yes, three. Let's post this. We're just sharing the link so we can go live. If I don't melt like a snow cone in Phoenix, that is. Here we go. Because we are live in pre-production mode for the Xander Gibb show. And if you want to know whether I'm he, she, it, or I am a unicorn, that's what I'm identifying as today. I am the unicorn. Ba-boom, ba-dum. We're just sharing. Computer is so damn slow. Maybe I can blame it on the heat. We are nearly there. We're just doing some sharing. Because sharing is caring. I don't know if I've said this to you already, guys, but you know what? Trump 2020. Or Trump 2.0, people are actually referring to it as, which I think is good also. I am so hot. Wait, let's get the YouTube link and share that because I know how you guys like to watch me on the big screen. Big guy, big screen. Ah, it didn't get small. The screens just got bigger. Here we go. We are getting there. A new series of my favorite TV show is coming up next week. I don't know if any of you out there watch Wentworth. I know you get it in the United States too. But I know my Aussies will know what it's called, what it's all about. But I love Wentworth, and I'm a bit of a binge watcher actually. Let's just share this. We are, yes, that's done. That's done there. Just got to share on the Instagram. Who's been by the pool today? I bet our guest in part 2 has been sitting by the pool. Mind you, he works during the day, so maybe not. Did you see Madonna hugging the protesters in London? I had to laugh. She said she's built up an immunity. And I thought, what have you built up an immunity to? Bullshit? Because you're full of it, lady. I used to love Madonna. You know, when I was a teenager, I used to love listening to Madonna, watching Madonna. I wanted to be Madonna. But now, no. Not interested. Shut up, Xander. In their tracks. We are getting ready to go live for tonight's edition of the very warm, it's like 67 degrees, which is very hot for the UK. But we will get there. I have water, and I will be sipping it to keep hydrated and hoping that my makeup doesn't peel because it looks like it's already starting to do so. Right, let's get this show shared. Let's get this road on the show. All right, I can't see it out of my right eye for some reason. But we are sharing, avoiding, as usual, groups that would not want me to share in there because we don't want to piss anybody off. They'll be sending the local mafia around All right, Chet. How you doing, mate? I'm just talking in a London accent for some reason. I really don't know why. Um, Here we go. Conservative, 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 conservative. Stuff for sale? No. Conservative, conservative, conservative. Freedom on Deck fan group. Yeah, we always get it posted in there. All American Human Beings. Conservatives United. Britain Awakens. That's a great group if any of you fancy joining that. Britain Awakens, they're really good British Trump supporters. Here we go. We are nearly there. My eyes. Conservatives. I wish someone would do all of this for me. Do all the sharing to all of the groups. We are done. We are done. We are ready to go live for today's edition. I will come and say hello to everybody individually of the one, the only, the Xander Gibb Show. Cue opening titles.
It has been good to me this time around. Things were never bound to change when it was found. Sugar never tasted sweeter on my lips. My heart is now intact and I can find no rest. This is love, yeah, love. Never known true love before. Seen so many counterfeits that left me on the floor. This is love, yeah, love. All will come to those who wait. Time it cannot know the bounds, and era don't dictate.
Hello, and welcome to Friday's edition of the Xander Gibb Show, the talk show that really does get you talking on the Xandermonium Network, live from an undisclosed location. Oh, yes, sirree, bringing you the best in Patriot Broadcasting 5 nights a week. I'm Xander Gibb, and on tonight's edition, I get on my soapbox and give you the chance to get on yours too, and I will be breaking down and analyzing the real news as I see it and give you the chance to share yours too. And in part two, we break down today's hottest topics with my good buddy Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. You can have your say in the feed below, and as usual, I will be sharing your commentary as we go, so keep it clean-ish. You can follow me on social media everywhere, but Twitter, because they've banned me again for some reason. How dare I support my president and be patriotic? And you can check me out on my website, xandergibb.com. Be sure to go to the Xander Gibb Show page and click like and show your support. Let's quickly come to the live feed and say hello to everybody who is in there. Let's go backwards. Hello to Chet. Hello to CV. And hello to everyone who's watching but isn't in the live feed. Come and join us. You will be more than welcome. Yeah, London has been good to me this time around. It's actually love, but there you go. Love, 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 love. Okay, so it's time for Xander's news of the day, if I can get the teleprompter to work, that is. So the government has been granted permission to appeal against the ruling that Shamima Begum, sorry, that's the British government, should be allowed to return to the UK to challenge the deprivation of her British citizenship. Now, Begum was one of several who traveled to Syria and ISIS in 2015. She ruled her training camp and trained those in it for more than 3 years before she was found 9 months pregnant in a Syrian refugee camp. In February last year, shortly after being discovered, that the then Home Secretary, Sajid Javid, revoked her British citizenship, quite rightly, on national security grounds. Now, Begum took legal action against the Home Office, claiming the decision was unlawful because it rendered her stateless, even though ISIS claimed that it was a state and exposed her to real risk of death or inhuman degrading treatment, like joining a terror group doesn't. In 2020, Lord Justice Flaw and Justice King and Lord Justice Singh ruled Ms. Begum should be allowed to return to the UK to pursue her appeal, albeit subject to imposed controls by the Secretary of State. Now, in an application hearing conducted remotely on Friday morning, the government was granted permission to appeal against this ruling. Let's hope they win, because treasonous traitors don't deserve breath, never mind citizenship. Now, the thing that really bothers me about all of this, did Hillary Clinton kill Tom Hanks yet? No, not yet. But that will be our top story when she does. Now, the thing that really bothers me about all of this is, now let's get this into proportion. Whatever age she was, she went and fought with a terrorist organization. She was training other people to be terrorists. So if we let her back into the country after what she's done, because basically what she's done is kind of treason, basically. If we let her back in, what is she gonna do? You know, it's kind of worrying. Don't tell me you're stateless. You know, you made yourself stateless, and you know any of your assets, if you had any in the country, should be taken away from you because you don't deserve citizenship. President Trump made a great point recently on Twitter. He said Germany pays Russia billions of dollars a year for energy, and we are supposed to protect Germany from Russia. What's that all about, he said. Also, Germany is very delinquent in their 2% fee to NATO. We are therefore moving some of our troops out of Germany. Now, people are saying, how dare President Trump move American troops out of Germany? Well, let me break it down for you. It's simple. America is a country that is now being run like a business, thankfully. So it means we're not a charity. So we won't be paying for the security of other countries. And if you don't like it, may I suggest you don't look or move to Germany. It is that simple. So in cases per capita, Sweden now has a rate of infection similar to the UK regarding COVID, and its no lockdown strategy avoided another cataclysmic and social economic consequence. Take note, America, it's really time to look at the facts. I think it was a great strategic move for the president to start talking about delaying the election. And when you watch how quickly the states are going to open, because they want the election to happen because they think they're going to win. But ultimately, I would say, and they're saying, oh, President Trump doesn't have the power to do it. Well, if they're claiming that COVID is so bad, and they're also claiming from the perspective of, people can't go vote and blah, blah, blah. So let's wait till people are well enough to vote, or it's safe enough for people to vote, so we can have a fair and honest election. I think that's fair enough, because I have to say, Mr. President Donald Trump, Donald, you are a freaking genius, sir. So evidence shows that the FBI tried to tie Citizen Trump to the Epstein case, but with no success. While Trump is far from perfect, does the left's politicizing of the FBI and their hatred of him, more than they love America, highlight the fact it's indicative that the Democrats hate America and Americans. Hi, and welcome to the live feed. For me, it's what it's indicative of. There are so many leftovers in the FBI from the Obama administration. And that's a real concern for me. A new broom should sweep clean. And when it doesn't, when you still have dregs that are still operating from a political rather than a legal perspective, I think we kind of need to get them gone. Because the FBI is there to serve the people, to serve and protect the people, as is the police. And when all they're doing is politicizing positions from one particular party, i.e. the Democrats, we need to be concerned. Hunter Biden, reportedly in a lucrative deal with China-owned coal company, while dad demonizes the fossil fuel industry. Biden's corruption is endless. How much more do we need to see before we realize that Biden and his demon spawn are corrupt? This is before his public displays of dementing pedophilia and racism. Trump 2020 all the way, because the alternative is actually petrifying. So even while the election is going on, what we're actually seeing is the continuum of dishonesty. You know, Biden is under investigation, Joe Biden, this is, for bribery in the Ukraine. But let's face it, that's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to be swept under the rug. And the concern for me is that we want an honest president. And we haven't had that up until, you know, Donald J. Trump. So the president of the largest police union in Florida appeared on Fox and Friends on Friday to explain why the organization is supporting President Trump. We're 30,000 strong. We go from the Panhandle to Daytona to Tampa and down to Miami and the Keys, said the president of Florida Police Benevolent Fund, John Kanajani. He also explained that the decision to endorse Trump started with his move last week to calls for emergency meetings via conference phone with all of the chapter and charter presidents and board of directors. I spelled it out on what's going on, not just in Florida, but also across this country. Hey, you know what? We're getting beaten up. We're getting used like a punching bag, and we're tired of it. President Donald Trump has been there for us. He supported us. I kind of think that it's interesting how the worm turns, you know, how things change exponentially. And now the police unions are looking to back the president. Hi, Roberta. Welcome to the live feed. They're looking to back the president and actually support him. And I'm glad, because he's had their back for long enough. Chet says, so respectful of Obama to politicize John Lewis's funeral. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit yesterday. That really disappointed me. I mean, let the guy die. You know, Donald Trump is a bad orange man. If he'd gone to the funeral, it'd have been bad. He didn't go, it was worse. You know, I'm bored with it, frankly. The left can kiss my fat Jewish ass. My fat Jewish Christian ass, I should say. Oh, I do apologize to all my Christians out there. And finally, Nancy Pelosi thought she was going to get a compliment from a fan in the street recently. Instead, as she leans in intently, the man whispered, "Prison time is coming soon." I actually saw the video of that today, and that was really interesting to see. But will this ever happen? You know, will the left ever be brought to task for their criminality? I really do doubt it. Roberto says, he says, Xander Chet CV, nice to see you again. Nice to have you, sir. Welcome to the live feed. We've got time for some calls before we bring on our first guest. Roberto says, the left can kiss my Christian Nicaraguan ass. I go into British when I'm tired, because in England we don't call it an ass, they call it an arse. They can kiss my arse. So my head is very mixed up when I'm tired. So we got time for a couple of calls. If you're in the United States, you can call us on 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. But if you are in the United Kingdom, you can call us on 0208-133-5274. That's 0208-133-5274. The lines are now open. Chet says he only listened to the entire Obama eulogy for Lewis today. Yeah, I just I didn't watch it all. I can't watch Obama anymore. I don't know. I get nauseous very easy. And so when I kind of get that, when I'm watching Barack Obama and I want to punch him in the face, and not because he's black, before you write in. In fact, if you do want to write in, you can email me at Xander Gibb at idon'tgiveacrap.com. So I can't watch Barack Obama for very long before I get kind of, a little bloop. Um, the Good Morning America audience, Brian and Dina Murphy of San Antonio, Texas, have made it their mission to help others by donating plasma to 68 people after both fell ill with coronavirus in March. They said they felt God really saved them and to be a survivor. She also said that she felt this is really what God wants her to do, to help others. I'm guessing she's not a Democrat. That might sound mean, but it is, however, honest. Try again, Chet. The CV. The line is. Are you calling the right number? 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Let me restart the. I'm just going to restart the system, but I am sure. Here we go. Just restarting. Okay, we have restarted. So if you want to try again, CV, it's 845-363-4747. That's 845-363-4747. Maybe the system is busy, but it's not busy this end. What else did I want to mention to you? An article from the Marshall News Messenger says, in the very near term, President Trump championed the paytech. Here we go. We have a caller. Let's bring them on. Welcome to the Xander Gibb Show. You are live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is I can't even say my own name. CV, your favorite Zankster.
Hello. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. I just wanted to send a message out to Gina because when you interviewed me yesterday and I was talking about the Antichrist, right?
Yeah.
Obama being the Antichrist, she commented saying that the Bible says there are many Antichrists. And that is true. There are many Antichrists. That's what Antifa are. They're the brown shirts for the Antichrist. BLM are Antichrist, brown shirts for the Antichrist.
Right.
And the Bible does say there are many Antichrists. But the Bible also says that there is the lawless one, the false prophet, and so on and so forth. So I think in every age there is one leader Antichrist that they all follow.
Right.
Like Mussolini or Hitler or Napoleon. These were all Antichrists. And I think in this age, the chief Antichrist is Barack Obama.
I think that what's his name, George Soros has to be up there somewhere. There is a kind of satanic connection with globalism.
Oh yeah,
I really think so.
He's a Antichrist. I think he follows Obama, but Obama, or Barack or Jared, is definitely the chief. It's definitely the one that's giving the orders right now.
Yeah, it's kind of worrying, isn't it? How many things are happening in the world today that the scriptures talk about. And when you actually think about it, because I've even heard people say, "Oh, you worship Donald Trump." I don't worship Donald Trump. He's not my God. He's my president. But a lot of people believe that he's been sent by God, and we can acknowledge that the President Trump is imperfect, as we all are. But I think that his motivation in the past 4 years has kind of shown me a real different side to him. As someone else that wasn't never Trumper. Don't come and put my windows through for that. But
well, I think it's without saying that every human being has imperfections. We know that.
Yeah.
We don't even have to say that. But I'm loyal to Donald Trump, and people can kiss my fat ass if they don't like it. Because he's loyal to me, he's loyal to the little guy, he's loyal to the blue-collar workers, and he wants to make America a manufacturing country once again. And I'm all for it. So I'm on the Trump train, and if people don't like it, then they can stand in the way and get run over.
Absolutely.
That's how I feel about it.
But don't you think that some people in America, even on our side of the aisle, seem to be single-issue supporters? Like, people like Ann Coulter, who who flip-flops with her support for the president. He hasn't built the wall in the first 5 minutes, so I don't support him. For me, as supporters of any president or political figure, we need to be more than a single issue supporter. Hi to Swoop and hi to my Gina. Don't you agree?
Right. Yes, I agree. And I love Gina. Don't get me wrong, Gina. We're on the same team. But, yeah, I'm not a single issue person, but I know that all the issues that matter most to me, Donald Trump is the champion for all those issues that I always believed in. And he's taught me things that I didn't even understand. He's taught me about globalism, and I see the dark side of the Bushes, the dark side of a lot of the rhinos that I didn't see before because he shined the light on them.
Right.
And they're like little roaches scurrying around, and they're little hate-filled, small, little maggots, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And I would love to someday become half the man Donald Trump is. This man never sleeps. His work ethic is amazing. He works. He's a workaholic. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. You know, he's loyal. He's tough. He doesn't care about the slings and arrows. He goes straight ahead, and he wins. He's a winner. All right? So, yeah, I love Donald Trump, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Will you guys get a room, please? No, but seriously, it has been interesting.
Well, I'm more attracted to Melania, but that's another issue.
You go, sir. The thing is that's been interesting for me as someone that wasn't ever a Trumper is how, once he had the nomination, I supported him, but he had to prove himself to me. Boy, did he prove himself. Because very quickly I saw how much this man, hi Russ, welcome to the live feed, how much this man really loves America. And then when you start to investigate it further, when you look at videos from 20 and 30 years ago where he's saying exactly the same things about NATO and all the people that rip America off, he's not saying anything different than he's been saying for the past 30 years.
Yep. I mean, we've all had our different journeys, but we all arrived at the same place. And I'm hoping more people will wake up and see what the Democrat Party is. They're demonic, insane weirdos.
Absolutely.
And that's all there is to it.
Yeah. And it's a worry, kind of. I speak to Republican friends of mine who knew me before I was a conservative, before I jumped ship from the Democrats. And I always worried that I was as bad as these assholes. And my friends say, you were always willing to actually discuss things. But I find that the Democrats are not open to discussing, because even with, I am open to civil discourse with anybody, whether they agree with me or not. But Democrats are not very good at that, are they?
Not the ones who are staying loyal to the Democrat Party. There are a lot of Democrats already jumped ship a long time ago. In fact, that's what got Donald Trump elected. Yeah, a lot of the districts that went for Obama in 2009 and in 2012 went for Donald Trump in 2016. Right. So that shows you that those Democrats flipped by the thousands, maybe millions.
Yeah, and I think it's going to happen even more, because I've actually heard kind of so many Democrats saying, I thought Donald Trump was an asshole, but what he's done in the past 4 years, 3.5 years, has really changed my opinion of it. Because I think a lot of us, including myself, I took my impersonation. I'm going to build a wall. My impression of Donald Trump from how I saw him on the TV, but that was just a character. And when you actually see beyond that character and see the guy, you actually see a whole different picture.
Yeah. Well, where I come from, the term asshole is a term of endearment.
Depends.
We take that as a compliment.
Depends.
If Donald Trump is being an asshole to the people who deserve that kind of treatment, right, well then, He might be an asshole, but he's my asshole. Wait, that doesn't sound right.
We apologize to President Donald J. Trump for CV saying that he was his asshole. We do get your point, though, and I absolutely agree with you.
I humbly apologize. See, I'm imperfect as well.
Hey, it's good. It's good. You're imperfect? Who knew? Gosh, I mean, we only have perfect people on the show.
I embrace my imperfections.
Absolutely, me too. I'm going to leave it there with you, CV, because someone else is trying to call, and I want to see if I can squeeze in another call.
Okay.
But thank you so much, brother, for calling in, and we'll speak to you again very soon.
Good night.
Thanks. That was CV Burton from Freedom on Deck. His counterpart is going to be coming on in part 2. We've got time for one more call. Probably you can call us on 845-363-4747 if you're in the United States. And if you are in the United Kingdom, you can call us on 133-5274. That's 0208-133-5274. Chet says he does Trump's voice very well. Here we go. Let's take our next call. Hello, you're live on the Xander Gibb Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, Xander. It's Ann, and I'm calling from New Jersey.
Hi, Ann. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm
Good.
listening to your show, so
Wonderful.
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I love your show, and I agree with a lot of what your caller just said. Wow, a lot of it.
Right.
And I just want to say, as I'm listening to you, I'm and listening to you discussing the fact that you weren't a Trump supporter.
No.
And you came around and you were a former Democrat.
Yep.
And I just, I want to make another point, the main point, but I just want to say this very quickly because it's really deservingly so. And you do such a terrific job, and you're very mature. And the fact that you could have discussions as a Democrat shows that you have this thing called common sense.
Right.
And the fact that you understand Trump, because I've been a Trump supporter since the day he came down that escalator, Xander. And I'm telling you, the man, if you look at his videos, if you look at him when he was young and all the things that he was saying on Oprah's show and all these different shows that he was on, and he was saying everything that he's doing today.
Right.
And the funny thing is when he attempted to run the first time, Xander, I didn't think it was his time. I did not think it was his time.
No.
So I know you don't have much time, and I just wanted to throw that out there very quickly. You do a terrific job.
Thank you.
You're such a true patriot, Xander.
You're too kind.
You really, really are.
But I want to touch on something you said there when you said about common sense, because for me, politics should all be about common sense. If the left actually came up with some good ideas once in a while that I could get behind, I would get behind those too, because making America great again is about common sense. But I'm not seeing much of that from the left at the moment, per se, unfortunately, because it does take all of us. I've had this ideology from day one, from when I had the talk show when I was a Democrat, that what will save America is all of us working together. But I wonder if the current leadership of the Democrats kind of has this ideology that they don't want it to work. They don't want it to be better.
They don't. There is an agenda, and it's been since the Great Society, and their socialist agenda has now morphed into their Marxist agenda.
Right.
And you know where that goes from there. It goes communist. And then totalitarian, and and then actual dictators like Hitler and Mussolini take place. So it is a very, very scary prospect. And you were also talking about the single issue voter, and that is so true because, and it's so much more than that. We see President Trump as a man doing so many different things.
Right.
He's accomplishing different things. He's signing amazing constitutional executive orders to help the country, to help the minority population, to help the black population. But I have to say this, Xander, and I know that you have an opinion on this, if you don't mind. What Barack Obama did at his funeral was a disgrace.
Right.
He turned it into a rally, is what he did. You hear the people clapping in the background. They're cheering, and he has the temperament, the tone, like he's speaking at a rally. I find that extremely disrespectful. This is America. We don't do things like that in America unless you're a Democrat. So I'm just truly disgusted with it.
I think you partially answered your own question because the left politicizes everything, whether it be a funeral or the FBI or any good thing. And I get personally very offended on the president's behalf. Because the thing is, if they say things about the president that is true, I can't lie and say, no, that's not true. But the thing is that there's not a lot there that they can actually pick on, but the things that they pick on are ridiculous things that are not true, or they're quarter truths, and they try and turn them into a whole truth. Like when they say the president is racist, the president is anti-disabled, the president is homophobic. Well, I'm openly gay, and I'm a wheelchair user, so why would I, as a gay disabled person, be supporting somebody that was anti myself? I mean, I'm not black, as you can probably see from the screen, but I think that there are more black people coming out in support of President Trump now. Why would they do that for a racist?
Right. And why would they do that for a racist? Why would they do that for someone who is a homophobic?
Yeah.
Why would they do that for someone who, didn't like immigrants? It's completely a farce. Everything that the Democrats do is a lie. And it's disgusting. And we have a president who is fighting back. So while some people on the right don't like maybe the tone is tweeting so much, that the tone, and don't get down in the mud with pigs or whatever. They don't use the word pigs, although in this case they should. And so we this is one of the main things that attracted me to President Donald Trump when he made that speech, even before he went down the escalator. Xander, I want you to watch that. I want everybody to watch that speech. I knew during that speech that he was going to be our next president.
Right. And
one of the things contingent upon that for me was the fact that he's going to fight back. And he stands up. And, when I first and I'm a very nice person, and I hate name calling. I really do, Xander. But I'm telling you, Rosie O'Donnell was picking on President Trump for a very long time. It might have been 3 years. It might have been 6 months. I don't know the exact amount of time, but it was relentless. She was picking on his nose.
Right.
She was making fun of the way he holds his mouth, and she was making fun of Miss America and saying denigrating things about the man. And so finally he fought back. One day he said, you know what, Rosie O'Donnell, you're a fat pig.
Right.
And as much as I hate name calling, Xander, that's actually what I said. Wow, this man, you know what, he is a no BSer.
Yeah.
He's going to stand up to these people. And that is what we need in the country, because Republicans have been very soft.
Exactly.
They've been,
they've
been somewhat soft, right, Xander?
The thing is, Rosie turned around and used that and said that he was a misogynist. So here's the thing: if you and I have a fight and I give you as good as I get, does that make me a misogynist? Does that make you a man-hater? You see, the left has to go to these levels of attack because they have no substance to their commentary. That's why they have to say, every day on social media, I get called a homophobe, which I think is hilarious. How can I be homophobic? I'm gay. You're
gay.
Yeah. So the left has nothing of substance to offer over and above accusations and snipes, because they've got no policies, they have no leadership, and they've got no chance of winning in this election in November in a fair election. They have no chance at all.
And for them, and to add the scariness to that is the fact that the policies that they do have will destroy the country. They're socialist policies of raising taxes, bringing back all those regulations that Trump got rid of, and allowing more and more people into the country who don't have to stand in line like the rest of the people that legally came into this country and worked hard to become an American citizen. And he's just going to, you know what, Biden is just going to undo everything, and we are going to see a massive socialist Marxist agenda take place before our eyes, and that's another reason why they're not going to win. We have, I don't know if you heard this, you probably have, we basically have a very strong Republican voter registration turnout. So people are like waking up, you know, and the funny thing is, Xander, is all of the media is in the back pocket for the left. And but people are still getting the message, and they're getting it through his tweets, his Facebook Lives, and, you know, there are probably some people that are also waking up in the media, you know, who have not been friendly to Trump.
Absolutely.
So it's sickening, Xander.
But I think we can kind of we can agree on the fact that the media has been left leaning for at least the past 10 years. In fact, I think it actually, when Obama took office, I think that's when it really kind of, you know, demonstrated itself as to its high level of bias toward the left. But I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon, at least not before the election. Because, you see, I thought last time after the president had won, things would calm down. But no, they just get angrier and angrier. But a guy that comes on this show, and I respect his opinion, I don't know if you've heard of him, he's an author, and he's an expert on political models, Dr. Gerard Lamiro. Every time he comes on the show, he makes me feel better about my confidence in President Trump winning. And he thinks by February or March of next year, the Democrat Party will be over and done with. Gone forever.
Yeah, they're destroying themselves. Yeah. And like your last caller said, and he basically took my analogy, I don't know, because you've never heard me say it before, but I said this a long time ago.
Absolutely.
They're like the cockroaches. You turn the lights on and they scatter, and that's what they're doing right now. They're desperate.
You're absolutely right. We got to leave it there,
Anne. And the Ukraine hoax and the Stormy Daniels hoax.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm sorry, we got to leave it there. But it was great to talk to you. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe.
You too.
And I hope you'll call and speak to us again. Thanks a lot so much, Anne. Take care.
Absolutely. God bless you.
You too. God bless you too. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. That was Anne from New Jersey with some very salient points regarding our President Trump. Swoop says the mainstream media showed they had as far back as the 90s. Can't read. Chet says Trump was also raging on her shitty magazine. You know, the thing is about Rosie, it's common knowledge that Rosie was a friend of mine. You know, I taught her kids to play the guitar. We were friends for a long time. But we drifted apart when she became so politicized. You know, anytime anybody would even mention Trump, even her other Republican friends, you know, she would lose it. She totally hated it. But the thing is, for me, that Rosie got what she deserved. And the thing is, if you keep coming after someone, and they come back at you. You know, I'm usually a polite person, but if you keep coming at me, I'm going to tell you to go forth and multiply in less pleasant terminology. Absolutely, Russ. Anne was a great caller. Swoop says hand. I'm not sure what that means. And Chet Martin says ragging. So I'm gonna start the intro for my guest now, who's coming on very soon. He is a political commentator, and he is the anchor from Freedom on Deck. He's a regular guest of ours, and his name is Chet Martin, and he's going to be calling us anytime. It is so darn hot here. 67 degrees, which, like, for an evening, usually it goes down to like 50 or 49, but it's 67 degrees. So I am understandably sweating my tits off. So this should be my guest, if I can get the right mouse. So please join me in welcoming back to the show, the one, the only, the fabulous Chet Martin. Welcome back to the show, brother. How is the world with you?
I'm good, Zan. I knew that you were kind of, I don't know if you want to say close with Rosie, but I didn't know that you gave guitar lessons, you said, to her son?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. No, hey, her son's probably a nice kid.
He's lovely.
He'll grow up with better standards than Rosie.
Yeah. In fact, from my conversations with him, I actually get that he's a Trump supporter, which would really piss off his mother.
She must love that.
I'm not going to mention his name because I believe in privacy for celebrities' kids, but we're friends on Facebook, and I tag him in sometimes, and often he'll message me and say, "Oh yeah, this, and this." But you can't pick the politics of your parents, and you can't pick your parents either, which is kind of unfortunate. I want to jump right in, Chet, because we've got some great topics to discuss tonight. So to hear Ambassador Rice talk the way is just crazy. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said, following Rice's TV appearance where she blasted the Trump administration for incompetence regarding raw intelligence, I guess that means unproven, merely alleged, that Russia paid the Taliban to kill American troops in Afghanistan. Wait, didn't they spend years saying that Trump was in bed with Putin? Now, the message to Putin is that you can kill American servicemen and women with absolute impunity, she said. So does this mean her ignorance of the threat to Benghazi, along with Gaylordo Blamo and Hillary, means the same thing? Now, she said, she has a history of... I have a history of teleprompter problems, but we're going to drop right back in. She has a history of going on Sunday shows and lying. Pompeo said pretty much this. You'll all remember that back in 2012, on 5 Sunday shows, and Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, Glenn Doherty, and Tyrone Woods had all perished on the administration's watch in Benghazi, Libya. She fabricated a story about a video on protest when she knew it was a terror attack. She did so because it was politically convenient to say that, and it's the worst kind of behavior from a national security leader. Obama's was a misadministration that didn't care about our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, and didn't act in a way that was securing American national interest. Now they want to make her the VP. So my question is to you, first of all, Chad, how many American people do you have to kill, and how many do you have to have the blood on your hands for before you can become vice president?
In my opinion, they killed a lot more than that, because what they did after that, if you remember, it was the rise of the Arab Spring. It was when Mrs. Rice went on with Letterman. She had created I'm not saying she created, but the Obama administration and her and others had a powwow, and we got to say it's a video on YouTube, and it was anti-Islamic, and that's why this attack happened. Meanwhile, they were funneling weapons into ISIS's hands at the time. Yeah. If you remember when they went off and killed Gaddafi, and they drug him through the streets, and, Gaddafi's an evil son of a you-know-what, but they knew when they took that dictator out that it would spread this virus of Islam, I'm not even going to say radical Islam, and led up to a lot of deaths, in my personal opinion. And you know what, Xander? You had a guest, Lee Denier, on. She was the fiance of Chris Stevens, and you were kind enough to get her to come on our show as well. She said Chris Stevens reported 600 times that they needed backup at that embassy, and every damn time he wouldn't even get a call back from our wonderful Secretary of State, Miss Hillary Clinton. That is an embarrassment. That is anti-American, and in my opinion, she helped the terrorists, not the Americans.
She has a blood on her hands. But I want to come back to a point that you mentioned, because here's the thing for me. Every time America or the UK or another country takes out one of these dictators, a bigger, badder bastard comes along and takes over. Either that, or what happened, you create a power vacuum, and when you create a power vacuum, someone better is going to come along. But this doesn't help the locals, the people that have been affected by that. It didn't with Gaddafi. It didn't happen with Saddam Hussein. All it did was make things worse for people that lived in the country because somebody else came along to do it. And what is interesting to me is, in light of this, the fact that President Trump is now saying he's taking the troops out of Germany, as you probably heard me say earlier. And this really feeds into my ideologies, because as America, as a country, we need to keep the hell out of other people's business. It's not our business to be supporting Germany and making sure they don't get attacked by Russia when they're paying Russia billions of dollars every year for their power supply. So there has to be a line.
They are. And that's why Donald Trump is pissed off. If he's in Putin's back pocket, why is he pissed off about that?
Right.
And you're absolutely right. President Trump actually back in 2003 came out with an interview saying that we should not invade Iraq.
Right.
Remember that one?
Yeah,
he said it'd be a bad idea.
Yeah.
A lot of American kids are going to die over there. We don't have a clear message on why we're... But you know who did say we should go in there? Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
John Kerry. John McCain.
Joe Biden.
Should I go down the list a little more? It's gonna lead up to all Democrats.
Joe Biden.
And all scum in Congress.
Joe Biden.
And Joe Biden. Yep. And Joe Biden. And that is one of President Trump's big tools in this election, Xander, because by and large, under President Trump, we haven't been sending a boatload of soldiers over there unless we absolutely have to. He hasn't created any wars.
No.
And he kicked the crap out of ISIS. When Obama was in office, we were over there. We were dropping pamphlets on ISIS.
Yeah.
Journalists and kids and men, women, and children were getting their heads lobbed off. And if you guys want that for another 8 years, go vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah, because America has been so much safer, and Americans in general have been so much safer under Donald Trump. But the thing that kind of sticks out for me with all of this is from the perspective of why Barack Obama was doing all of this. Why did he give all of this money to Iran?
Yeah.
Because what he was doing, and I believe he was doing this through his whole presidency, was messing up America to a point where they could be invaded. And with regards to aiding our enemies, what that actually does is puts us in a weaker position. And that's all Barack Obama did for his whole 8-year tenure. Put America in a weaker position. Got us into fights that we didn't need to be. Because, the first thing I would have done is I would have brought the troops home from Afghanistan and Iraq and all of these other places. I would have made sure that some systems were put into place to make sure that the citizens there were protected. But get our asses out of there, because far too many American soldiers are dying in other countries to protect motherfuckers that don't care about our people. Excuse my French. I'm sorry.
You hit the nail on the head, because when Obama got us out of Iraq, he left nothing in place. Nothing. And there were even locals in Iraq saying, please don't leave. I know you probably remember that.
Yeah.
Please don't leave. Don't leave us here like this. They're going to kill us.
Yeah.
And they were right. ISIS rolled in with their Toyotas. They got some pamphlets dropped on them by King Hussein Barry II. And it just went on and on. Well, it seemed like every day someone was getting beheaded, and every day he was on the golf course with Michael Jordan while journalists were being decapitated. And if anybody thinks that Susan Rice is somebody that should be in that type of position of power, they are very demented. And Donald Trump, if Biden does pick her, Donald Trump's going to have an even easier time.
For sure. Wait, are you talking about Barry the gay Kenyan who's married to the linebacker that wears dresses? Is that the same one?
Did I tell you? Well, maybe you didn't see it in the feed. I actually heard his show today, and it's bad. It's
the
terrible.
Big Mike show is on already. Oh God, you should share the link because I really want to say. Do you get to call in or not?
I don't know if it was the first show or if it was like kind of like a demo, but
right.
I'll share it with you. I'll send it to you later.
Hello and welcome to the Big Mike Show. We're going to talk today about where you can get shoes for trans men and where you can get your breasts sorted out really cheaply, and where you can buy wigs.
I remember all the Harambe memes, believe me.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
He is not an attractive black woman, that I can tell you.
Exactly.
But, I have to have fun sometimes, Xander. If you don't laugh, you'll go insane.
Please. And Swoop just said that my language that I use wasn't French. No, it definitely wasn't French. But I'm sorry, but anybody that wants to hurt American is that word. Yeah, for sure.
Right. And I just saw CV in the feed saying that he was for the invasion. I was wrong. A lot of us were. I was too.
Yeah.
The Bush administration played it up that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, and nobody wanted them to have that because they'd wipe us off the face of the earth.
No, absolutely. I want to change tack a little.
A lot of people wanted that.
Because I want to get to our next thing, because I really want to talk about
Sure. Bill
Clinton getting fingered, and I'm sure you do too. And I'll explain more before people kind of jump to conclusions. So newly unsealed documents in the defamation lawsuit between Ghislaine Maxwell and alleged victim Virginia Giuffre claims that Bill Clinton visited Epstein Island along with two young girls. The documents were from a now settled defamation lawsuit filed by one of Epstein's alleged victims, Virginia Roberts. Giuffre claimed that in the lawsuit of litigation that Maxwell recruited her in 2000 to be a sexual servant to Epstein. She said the couple subsequently pressured her into having sex with numerous rich or notable men, including Prince Andrew, the Duke of York. And I thought he had 10,000 men. U.S. politicians, wealthy entrepreneurs, and famous scientists and fashion designers. Now, Maxwell and all of the accused men have denied those allegations for years. But during a telephone interview with her lawyer, Jack Scrolla, Ms. Giuffre said that U.S. President Bill Clinton visited the island along with two young girls. Don't we finally need to see the serial sexual predator and his protectors behind bars?
Yes, but I don't know that you will. I mean, the guy is disgusting. Is this really a revelation? We all knew this, right? We all knew,
of course,
that Bill Clinton is a pedophile.
Yeah.
But the left is just going to scream foul, and they're going to say, "Well, what about the pictures with Trump?" It's always, "What about Trump? What about Trump? What about Trump? What about Bill Clinton?" Listen, Bill Clinton on that flight went into a back room area with somebody. As from what I'm seeing, I was watching a video with Mr. Dan Bongino, and I looked into a few other pieces out there that are floating around, that this girl could have been as young as 14 years old.
Wow.
That's disgusting.
I mean, usually when I talk about these things on the show, usually I would have said to you alleged, with regards to Bill Clinton. But I'm not even afraid of that anymore with Bill Clinton, because even his wife knows he's a dirty sexual predator. We've heard from people like, our friend Juanita Broderick about how he treated her and the fact that he raped her. I can kind of get it that if one person says, "Oh, you raped me," then that could be kind of like, just a revenge thing or whatever. But the hundreds of people who have suggested that he's done things to them, and I know they say there's no smoke without fire. There is, there's a smoke machine, but you cannot tell me that all of these people have got together and said Bill Clinton has sexually assaulted me in some way or another, that they're all lying.
They aren't all lying, and Bill Clinton not only, did inappropriate things with these women after he raped Juanita Broderick, who we both had on, I believe. Juanita Broderick was basically, she was spied on for over 5 years of her life. They killed her cats. Did you know that?
No, I
didn't. Her cats. And they had somebody following her for close to 5 years. She thought she was going to end up dead.
Yeah.
And, of course, if you try to report that, nobody's going to listen in
No.
Arkansas about Bill Clinton, doing some inappropriate things with you. So that didn't work for her. But this man is one of the absolute most disgusting human beings that's ever walked on the face of the earth. Hillary Clinton knew it every time that he was doing it. And what I'm hearing right now from everybody, and Dan Bongino's par for the course, we all know it. The problem is the left embraces pedophilia.
Yeah.
They embrace it, and that's what nobody is pointing out.
No, but isn't it interesting? If you'd have talked to me 10 years ago, I would have said, allowing gay marriage is a good thing just from the rights that gay people could get. Now, when this all came to the fore with Barack Obama, my good friend Dr. Gina Loudon said to me, you do realize, Zanny, that what this is going to do, it's going to open the door for pedophiles to claim that their lifestyle is appropriate too.
Right.
And I was like, no freaking way. On the day that Barack Obama signed it into law that same-sex marriages could happen, I actually cried, and they weren't tears of joy. And not that I don't want my fellow LGBTQ, ABCD, EFG community people to have the same rights as everybody else, but because I and several others had been used. And she was absolutely right, because the next step was for the pedophiles to turn around and say, we have this wonderful organization named NAMBLA. What we need now is for our proclivities to be legalized. And I hit the roof when I heard that. And she was absolutely right. But the left have opened the door. And don't write to me. I'm not saying that gay people are freaks and pedophiles, because I know they're not. But people that are open about the fact that they have a proclivity towards having sex with children, that's what I'm talking about. They are the ones that I'm saying are disgusting. But the left has opened the door for this.
Yeah, a pedophile is a pedophile no matter what. If it's a child, you're hurting a child, and you should probably be put through a wood chip or feet first. I'll feed you through it if you're a pedophile, and I'll do it nice and slow. Here's the thing. We all know the left connects with a lot of pedophilia type groups like Hollyweird, and I'm sorry to say it, I don't mean to be a jerk, but Muslims, and they push this idea that you can get sexual favors from children because they're just so evil. There's just such evil in them. And I don't think you can ever fix someone like that. You know, Xander?
No, but
I think that's kind of a crime where you have to put a bullet in the back of the head.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing for me, and they were trying to push for this legislation in some states with regards to kind of legalizing pedophilia. I guarantee you that if Joe Biden wins in 2020, that one of the first things he will do is, because they've been trying to sexualize our children for long enough, what he will actually try to do is put through a bill that allows the legalization of sex between adults and children. And to me, that will sort the wheat from the chaff, because I think that there are a lot of Democrats out there that are good people and are kind of remnants of the old Democrats. But if your party then tries to legalize sex between adults and children and you agree with it, you're part of that shit as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, the problem with Democrats and liberals in general is they don't stand up enough when one of theirs is doing wrong.
No.
Right? I mean, that's something that we're kind of proud of. Like somebody like John McCain. When John McCain did something wrong, we pointed it out. And there are folks over there on the other side of the aisle that are good people. I mean, no doubt about it. That's true. But the party in and of itself is a shadow of what it once was.
Yeah.
And that shadow is very dark and dreary and horrible. And you're right, they're going to go for this. Biden's the perfect one to do it under. And you know what they'll do it under, Xander? They'll do it under the guise of saying, well, Muslims believe this. It's in their Quran, and how do we tell them that they can't do that? We're going to push forward with this legislation. I mean, there are a lot of Muslims that do it here anyway. I mean, just so everybody knows, that happens a lot. And, they'll use that as the guise to then sexualize our children to the point of where it's like consent over my dead body, nobody's touched my kids. I'll tell you that.
I mean, don't write into either me or Chet, and I know I can speak for you saying that we're anti-Muslim, because we're not. But when you are part of a religion whose prophet had sex with a 6-year-old child, and it actually says that in your so-called holy book, don't tell me that that's not pedophilia. Don't tell me that the times were different. You know, I've had Muslims say to me, "Oh, well, it means the Holy Spirit is a pedophile because the Holy Spirit penetrated Mary and made her pregnant." The Holy Spirit didn't have sex with Mary. The Holy Spirit made Mary pregnant. There was no physical contact.
Right. Exactly, or they wouldn't have called her the Virgin Mary.
Exactly. Yeah, they didn't call her Mary the whore, did they? Or you know, they do have an answer for everything, but it does come back to that for me. If the prophet of your religion has there's open documents about them having sex with children, whatever you want to call that, however far back it was. But it's still going on today in the world, that adults in some religions are marrying young children so that they can sleep with them. And it's damn disgusting.
Xander, it happens with all the 3 main religions in the United States of America. Islam, obviously. I hate to tell some of you folks, the Orthodox Jews do it, and there are some Southern Baptists that do that stuff. They're usually held up in a camp, and the government can't go inside that camp. This stuff happens. Yeah. Unfortunately, religion is, I believe in God. You know I believe in God. You believe in God. But for me, organized religion it's not for me, dude. I can't do it.
No, me either. Me either.
I can't.
Yeah, besides my stilettos would scrape their floors, which is a great point to leave it. But tell us who is... I couldn't resist that, sorry. Tell us who is on your show this weekend and when people can tune in and where.
Yep, that fantastic gentleman by the name of Xander Gibb will be on with us.
Oh, he's good.
And he is good. He's really good. And on Sunday, he's going to be really good. We got some great topic of discussion with him. Julio Rivera from the Reactionary Times, contributor all over the place. He's got a lot of good stuff coming out with Reactionary Times TV and all the new stuff, and I guess he's rebranded that. So we'll talk about that a bit. And then we have Dylan Howard come on. He's gotten a lot of attention for his book, Bad, The Unprecedented Investigation into the Michael Jackson cover-up. And in this book, this was the book, I don't know if you remember, Xander, in the news where the cleanup maid, or the maid rather, at Michael Jackson's residence saying that she used to find children's underwears and used condoms in Mr. Jackson's hot tub. So it will be a very in-depth discussion.
Absolutely. I'm betting he was a Democrat. We do have to leave it there, Chet. Thank you so much for joining us. For now, thank you, Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Check them out Sundays 3 till 5. Check them out on Facebook, and you'll see all of the information how to watch and listen to this show. Thanks a lot, brother. Absolutely. Have a great weekend, and I will speak to you very soon.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
God bless.
God bless you too, Sarah. That was Chet Martin from Freedom on Deck. Make sure you go check him out. We are out of time. Thanks to everyone who's made today's show possible. Thanks to all of our callers. Thanks to C.V. Burton from Freedom on Deck. Thanks to Anne from New Jersey for calling. Thanks to everyone in the live feed. You do make the show much better. Now had your fill of the Gibster. You can catch me 5 nights a week, 5 Pacific, 7 Central, 8 Eastern, and 1 a.m. in the UK, 10 a.m. down there. The next day in Australia. Join us next week for more scintillating chat. If you are thirsting for more conservative footage, commentary, etc., you can go over to my good buddy Joe Messina on The Real Side, and also you can check out my brain has gone dead. Andrea Kay for the Andrea Kay Show. So you have a lot of choice tonight. I really do love you all. Stay safe over the weekend. Click the share button and have a safe weekend. I've been Xander Gibb, and I really do love you all. I do. Bye-bye.
It has been good to me this time around.
Click the bell button and subscribe to keep up with the Xander Gibb Show. Oh yes, sirree.